Hello students, now let's continue lesson number 4 on page number 62. Okay, we have discussed in the previous video that how the wicked and the greedy old couples have murdered the pet dog Muko, and they also destroy the mill. Okay, that was the magic mill which was given gold coins to the wise old man, and they also fired that magic mill. Okay, now the our old man wanted to take back the ashes of that magic mill, and then he took back the ashes of that magic mill. Now he came to the way on which the daimyo's about to pass. Okay, the wise old man with his ash came to the came to the way where the daimyo's about to pass. Okay, so now that was a custom of for every people where the daimyos pass. All the people have to knee down, and they have to not show or committed impertinence. Impertinence means disrespect, so they have to not committed impertinence, and they all have to prostrate. Okay, so prostrate means they have to lay their face downwards on the ground, and they have to knee down. Okay, so that was the custom for all the people who were gathered to see the daimyo's procession. Okay, and so when the daimyo's procession was about to pass, all the peoples were doing or perform same custom. Except the old wise man, he does not knee down, but he climbed up on the withered or bare tree of cherry. Okay, now let's see what happened. On page number 62, there was on third paragraph, the train drew near. Train here means procession. The procession of daimyo drew near. One tall competent means the person who are able in doing all the work. So competent man marched ahead. So before the procession came, one man who was able, and the able man came, and he was crying out to the people, by the way, get down your knees, get down your knees. So he was crying for the get down all people's knees, and everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. Suddenly the leader of the van caught sight of the aged man up in the tree. So one man on the van, on the his palkis, so a daimyo's palki, who drive the daimyo's palki, so that van, and that man caught his eyes on the aged man, means that wise old man who was climbed on the tree. ઓકે, હવે એક વેનની અંદર બેસેલા એક જે મેન છે એની સાઈડ નજર ક્યાં પડે છે, આપણા જે ઓલ્ડ વાઇઝ મેન એ ટ્રી ઉપર ચડી ગયા છે. હી વોઝ નોટ performing the custom that knee down. So he was not performing the custom, but he was climbed on the tree. So one man caught sight on that. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone. Okay, he was just trying to say that knee down, but seeing he was such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So one man of that procession felt his eyes on that old aged man, and he was about to say that knee down, but he was not say, because that man was very aged, and he pretended that he was not see that aged man and passed by. So when the daimyo's palki drew near, the old man, taking a pinch of ashes from his basket and scattered it over the tree. In a moment it brushed into a blossom. So when the daimyo's palki was came near, what did the our aged old man do? Wise old man do who was climbed on the tree જે ઝાડ પર ચડી ગયા છે અને શું કર્યું? He took the pinch of the ash and he scattered the ash on the that bare tree. જે bare tree means there was bare means scattered, or there was nothing leaves, or there was no leaves, or there was no flowers on the tree. So એવા bare tree ઉપર એણે શું કર્યું? એક 1 pinch of ash નું એણે scattered કર્યું, છાંટ્યું. So in a moment it brushed into blossom. So all the bare tree was make a blossom in just a moment. એક જ મોમેન્ટની અંદર આખું ટ્રી બ્લોસમ થઈ ગયું. So full of flowers. Okay, the delighted daimyo ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. Now that wonder, that magic seen by the daimyo, so he ordered that stop the procession and he wanted to go to see the wonder or magic, calling the old man to him. So the daimyo calling the old man to near to him, he thanked him and ordered presents to silk robes and sponge cake and fans and other rewards to given him. So he ordered other his servants to give some rewards to old aged man. તો આ જે ઓલ્ડ એજ્ડ મેન છે એને ઘણું બધું એને રિવોર્ડ્સ આપ્યું. Okay, he even invited him to his castle. Okay, so this daimyo was very rich and this daimyo invite our wise old man to his castle, means to his palace. Okay, so the old man went gleefully home to share his joy with his dear old wife. Now old man went back to his home. Now वो gleefully home, gleefully means happily. So he went back with happily to his home and share his all experience with his dear wife. Okay, now let's see and turn the page. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. Okay, all the incident were heard about that greedy people, greedy neighbor, and they also doing the same. They also take the ashes and went to the highway. There he waited until a daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. So he went to the highway where the daimyo's palki or daimyo's procession was about to pass, and there instead of kneeling down, he climbed on the bare cherry tree. એ પણ ક્યાં ચડી ગયો? એક bare cherry ના tree ઉપર ચડી ગયો. When the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree. When the daimyo's palki was under the tree, directly under the tree, he was threw a handful of ash. અને એક મુઠ્ઠી ભરીને શું નાખ્યું? Ash. Okay, which did not change a particle. And the ash did not change the tree. અને એ ashથી tree change થયું નહીં. And the wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the daimyos and his wife. So when he threw the ashes, the wind was blow, and because of that the ashes reach at the eyes and feel in the eyes of daimyo and his wife. આ જે એશિસ એણે ફેંક્યું એ ક્યાં કંઈક પહોંચ્યું? તો જે daimyo છે એની અને એના વાઇફની આઈઝની અંદર ફીલ થઈ ગયું આ બધું એશ. ઓકે, સો now what happened? Such sneezing and choking, it spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. So the ashes reach in the and feel all in the eyes of daimyo and daimyo's wife. So they was started sneezing, એમને છીંક આવવા લાગી, and choking. Choking means have difficulty in breathing. So they have difficulty in even breathing. It spoil all the pomp. Pomp means splendor, pleasure, and dignity means honor of the procession. So it spoiled the mood of daimyo and his wife, the man whose business it was to cry, get down on your knees. Okay, so that one servant cried that get down on your knees. એક સર્વન્ટે બૂમ પાડી, કોને? જે ગ્રીડી મેન ઉપર ચડી ગયો છે ટ્રીઝ પર, એને શું કહ્યું? ગેટ ડાઉન એન્ડ ઓન યોર knees. Sneeze means caught. Sneezed old fool by the collar, and then he was get down and he was sneezed or caught by the collar, dragged him from the tree and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch. Ditch means narrow channel. So his ash basket was thrown into the narrow channel which was on the side of the road. So by the road, then beating him soundly. Then all the servants of the daimyo beating that old greedy man soundly means બહુ માર માર્યો એને, and he left him for dead, અને એને રોડ સાઈડ પર ફેંકી દીધો. Thus the wicked old man died in the mud. So because of all the people, all the servants beating him too much, he was dead in the mud. But the kind friend of the dog, so the kind old woman and man that was very kind and wise, they dwelt in peace and plenty. Dwell means they live in peace and plenty, and both he and his wife lived to a green old age. So they were peacefully live their old age. Both the husband and wife, both the kind couple. Okay, so these both people live together green old age. So green here means healthy, active and prosperous life. So they live long and healthy and prosperous and active life. Okay, so that was the magic story, and that was the story of a wise. It was the contrast between, we can see here the contrast between the old two couples are there. One was very wise and kind, while another old couple was very greedy and evil people. Okay, so we can see all the things were done good from the that good people. Okay, so we can get the moral that do good for the others, think good for the others, do not be evil or do not be greedy. Okay, so like that old greedy and wicked man, if you become a greedy, your end will be also not good. Okay, so that is the moral of this story. It is written by William Elliot Griffiths. Okay, it was a Japanese tale. So it is all about the story, and the question answer will discuss later. Okay, till then, take care students, stay home, stay safe.